Hello, everyone. So, well, after I previously did another video about the idea I had, this is going to be completely different. I figured I'm going to sit down and basically just talk to you guys about many things. Um, See, I noticed a lot of things. A lot of people are so used to, like there's not much transparency. Um, it's always some kind of trend or whatever is going on. That's not me. I mean, really. I mean, you could tell it's like even if you just listen to the music that I made at DJ ZTF, it well, that speaks volumes right there. A lot is basically pieces to a puzzle because if you really think about it, I mean, what we all haven't noticed that we all seem to have forgotten is we've kind of we're missing elements. Okay, there's details missing, aspects, nuances within diversity, the complexity of things, just the framework is just not fully grasping the real truth, like the real harsh, real objective truth. Like, we've come to a point where our external evolution exceeds our internal evolution, where that grows more than we do, right? We're like, we're stagnant. We're not going nowhere. We're not evolving. We're not growing. We're not developing. We're not improving on certain internal aspects and features and something internal, like our consciousness, our cognitive. We're not broadening our perceptions, etc., etc. Details are missing, and it's these details, it's these nuances, these diverse ways of thinking and interpreting and everything else. That's what allows us to get a better understanding of the diverse reality within this world that we live, the reality in itself, which is the objective reality, the reality that exists with all of us in it. Okay, so when you look at the reality, see, everybody has their own individual reality, but the reality is each and every one of those are pieces, the different sides to things, the different ways of looking at things, the different way people feel about, they're all pieces to a puzzle. Every experience that a person experiences are pieces. They're all pieces. It's all pieces to a puzzle. The objective life is a puzzle. It is a mystery into of oneself. And it's once you're able to grasp the broad spectrum range of that, you're able to get past that bias perception and see on a more broader lens. You're able to soak in more details and more information of it to apply and utilize to help you better navigate the objective reality. There's two types of reality. There's the reality that some tell themselves that they live in, and then there's the objective reality, which all of them exist within. I'm speaking from the objective standpoint, the unbiased standpoint, the evolutional standpoint, the growth standpoint. And I've noticed that it's become apparent profoundly that we have become skewered and lost in this whole material, chasing fame, fortune type, whatever. But we're losing what's eternal, the essence from within. That's that's treasure. That's something that's basically, it's eternal. It's rewarding in the long terms, because when we can grow and learn these things, right? When we can grow and learn these things, we don't just apply them to ourselves. We apply that to the rest of the world around us. And it helps our minds grow to get a more broader, critical, rational, deeper understanding, so then we know how to make more better informed decisions. And sometimes that starts by reflecting back on the many mistakes we made and then correcting them, owning up to them, owning up to our mistakes, taking accountability, and doing right and being better. Because when we're better for ourselves, we're able to be better for others. And when we're better, everything else is better. When that's better, the world's better. And in order for you to do that, you got to be able to be that. In order for you to be able to be that, you got to be able to get to it first in order to be that, so then you're able to give that. But you got to get there first. And that's where the growth part comes in. That's where the growth comes in. That's where the development comes in. That's where inner enlightenment comes in. That's where discovering your true self, your roots, tackling things that you normally would fear or avoid, and or you don't understand. Instead of attacking what you don't understand, try to actually understand it. I mean, that even helps, because that actually creates bridges rather than gaps. And it all starts with us. We must be that change. We have to be that reality that we want to see. What we want to see, we must be it in order to push it outwards, to create that. You don't just spread the message. You got to be the message. You got to embody that message. You got to be that message. You got to own it. Here. You have to own it. So, and I've done a lot of internal exploring. I've challenged my thoughts. I've challenged my assumptions. I've challenged my speculations. I've challenged so many things in myself. And I still continue to do it internally. Not just the external, but even the internal. I challenge my own. I always challenge first before I do. Because sometimes that's even better, because it saves on misunderstandings that's unnecessary. That could have been diverted and avoided to avoid the inevitable. And that starts by taking the time to think of an alternative of, maybe that's not the case. What if it's this instead? And sometimes even asking a question even helps. Maybe even saying, maybe I could do this better. Maybe I could try to approach it differently. Even that. And you know what? You don't have to get rid of one approach for another. Just put that one on the back burner and then use a different one. Because after a while, you'll end up gaining so much skill, so much tools internally, that you'll be prepared for any situation you can encounter. So if you face a situation where this approach doesn't work, you have another one that you can approach it with, or this one, or this one. So you have a broad range of tools. You're prepared. So you're able to approach it in many different ways. Now, I'm not going to say the fact that people might get that misunderstood and misinterpreted and see it as something on the surface level, rather than seeing it for anything else that it could possibly be, rather than what it is they're seeing. which is a natural thing. It's common. I'm not denying that. But there's a saying. Sometimes just because something seems that it is, don't necessarily mean that it is. And it's crucial to consider that. It's crucial to think that. Think twice. It's crucial to think that. Because unintended consequences, things can happen. Even though we may not like what's going to happen. And that's usually because either we let our ego get the better of us, we let pride get the better of us, we let something get the better of us. We let it cloud our judgment and our thinking. We let it cloud what we see. We let it deter us from what we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to get to, right? We let it hold us back. We let it hold us back. We let a lot hold us back. And we don't try to actually challenge those things or question those things. Like, it's okay to have pride, but you gotta have humility too. Because both those come into play. Just like you can be smart, but you gotta have wisdom. Just like you gotta have these things, because these things are what's gonna help you navigate situations throughout your life, different interactions, help you. Instead of creating more problems, you create solutions. Instead of clashing over our differences, why not try resolving them? I mean, there's an option. That's a possible solution. That's not a general idea we could do too. So there's many things we can do and we could do. It all starts with us. No, I'm not going to lie. There are things on the external basis that is less of the person and more on the external. Yes, that is a circumstance. That is a situation. Those are factors that do exist. Maybe not with everything, but they do exist. It just depends on the individual's circumstances and situations, which do vary. And like I said, pieces to a puzzle, a message. And it's not just about the message. It's about how you live up to that message. It's how you voice that message. It's what you do. It's the actions that align with that message rather than just the message itself. So say if you have a certain approach that basically aligns well with the message you're trying to display and you live up to that, that becomes more stronger, especially when you're doing it from the heart, from within, deeply. That message becomes more stronger, and it becomes even stronger when you have the understanding, the information, the knowledge, or anything else to put with it, because that makes it more stronger rather than on a quick speculation or whatever. It makes it stronger because you have something to back it up, to support it. Even if you speak it with reason, which many people that know me, I'm a person of reason. So I'm also a polymath, which we'll go on to that. You're probably pretty much going to see that anyway if you look at my Facebook and then you look at the music I make plus the videos and everything else. You can basically tell. So, and philosophy, which is not a crutch. It's actually a way of unraveling the reality or life. No, the reality in life. You know, you're unraveling the secrets and mysteries of it. Same thing with science. You know, they do the same thing. But that's a completely different topic. I use both. But that's my message here. So bottom line point is it's what you do. You create your own universe. You're the master of your own universe. So if, say, you approach it in a trolling kind of way and cause disruptions or whatever, right? Which means because of that destructive, harmful, negative actions of that, there are consequences. There's the pro action, the reaction. And some reactions are justified, especially when you provoke it. When you provoke it, crying victim because somebody lashes out and not owning up and admitting that I messed up, this is what I put out there, this is what's happening, this is what's causing. Yeah, you're causing chaos. And the problem with that is chaos will backfire. It will backfire. Unless it's controlled. Controlled chaos, which I know about. I've seen on both sides of it. So, in nature. So, yeah. So anyway, this is a quick message of a sit down. I can't really do too long because somehow the phone doesn't take much at the file size, I guess. In due time, I make best of what I got, and it works. It gets the job done. So, hey, I can't complain. So, I may do what I got. I'm not gonna get all melodramatic about it. So, it's what it is. So just think for a moment that perhaps maybe people's reactions could actually be stemmed from the consequence, as a consequence result of how the person initially acted from the beginning. That started a chain reaction, a ripple effect. Now, the only way you can fix that ripple effect is to do the exact opposite in a more positive way in the opposite direction. The ripple effect is a thing. I mean, we go out there and say things that impacts people's mental health, right? And we see it every day. Look how people are nowadays. They're more on edge. They're more colder. They're more angrier. They're more negative. They're more resentful. I'm not going to use the word bitter. Resentful. And some are rightfully, justly so. Some are rightfully, justifyingly, resentful. Only primarily because they were the people that just tried to get by and live every day. And you have other people make it harder. And which impacts their mental health. Which impacts their daily functioning. Which impacts their daily functioning. It impacts every aspect of their life and those and loved ones around them. Which then, so on and so on. Which then makes society completely unstable and chaotic and messed up and whatever. That's the ripple effect. So, it's seeing past the surface of things. That's where the answers lie. That's where the truth lies. That's where we'll figure everything out, is when we can see past the surface. And I should know, because I see past the surface most of my entire life. I live it. I embody it. It's, yeah, multidimensional and polymath too. So, and super complex. Completely irrelevant topic. Completely. I'm just going to bring it down like this. Super complex is, okay, complex people, they have various levels, facets to their personality, traits, qualities, characteristics, right? It's all part of their personality. It's all part of who they are. Super complex is that plus frameworks and mindsets. I mean, even perception-wise is broader. I mean, it's all just broad. And some people out there, it's rare. It is possible there are people out there that have no lens, or they have a reduced bias. it is a thing. It does exist. Just knowing how to identify it, and not many really people can identify it. Profoundly speaking, because they spent so much time with their own bias that they can't see that there is somebody standing before them that doesn't have one, because they project, which ultimately prevents them from seeing beyond that, for seeing it for what it really is, because they're projecting, which also serves as a barrier to stand in their way, to blocking them from seeing the actual truth for what's standing before them, rather than seeing what they're already seeing. So it's like a lens, right? They can't see past it for the person that's actually unbiased. They can't see it because they can't see past their own until they challenge it, until they put it aside and focus on what they're actually seeing rather than what they want to see. It's a hard feat. It's difficult, I know, but the end result reward is much greater and more beneficial than the immediate gratification in the immediate. It's much more rewarding because it's going to apply through various aspects of their lives, including their own relationships and everything else, and on a global scale. And these are things that I try to share out to the world. These, so then they can grow. And wisdom is only successful when the other person wants that guidance. Like, guidance is only successful when the other person wants and allows that guidance. It's only as easy as they make it to be. The one person who's delivering. And because at the end of the day, I mean, you're only going to succeed if you allow yourself to. And only if you allow others to help you, allow you to succeed, and allow them to succeed for you to succeed. It's the same thing like the person helping you to better you, so then you can be better for them, so then they can be, you both can be better for each other. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. And it applies in a lot of other areas too. So, no, I'm not saying that there's no diversity. No, absolutely there's diversity. That's life. Life is full of diversity. It's a puzzle. And only a small number, few have come remotely close to figuring it out. Maybe one or two have. But you never know. You're not gonna know until you go out and allow yourself and open your eyes, allow yourself to see beyond what you want to see. Like, focus on something other than what you already know. I mean, you already know so much. There's more to know. And approaching it open-minded and willing to seek out what that is, that's the best part. And the trick is to not let fear, insecurity, any of those things hold us back, hold us down, because they're the one things that's standing in our own way. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's usually the people standing in their own way. Usually. At some point. They may not see it now, but some people do see it. I mean, numerous times I've seen things that others haven't seen until they started seeing it. And then it was kind of like, yeah, I've already seen that. What do you think I was trying to do from the very beginning? I'm not going to mention names, but like my past relationship. I mean, my ex just recently told me that she has a lot of problems. More problems than she realized. And I told her I knew that. I mean, throughout the whole time we were dating, I knew it. Hence why I was trying to help her so much as I did. Everything I was trying to do was because of that. That's why I did it. Because if anyone knows me, I'll tell you right now. I wouldn't really have an issue with something if I didn't notice it as an objective problem that's ineffective or not working or something. Even small minor problems all add up to one major big whole problem, and I see the bigger whole picture. So I don't focus on the little picture. So I'm looking at things at all angles, observing everything. I don't just tune into one thing. I tune into one thing, soak in the data, then I tune into something else, soak in the data, and then I piece it together. As I always do. I always piece things together. Connect the dots. The association, connecting things together. So, but this is my view to that. I just want to announce that. So, kind of engaging, interacting. So, stay true to yourselves, everybody. I will see you in the next video. And maybe I'll provide some more insights, understandings, deep aspects, either on a psychological basis or whatever. Even if you look at the content, it even says, even the content I make has a message in it that's tied to something within life and reality. There's clues and hints everywhere. Pieces are everywhere. They're in that. They're in the music I make. Even the things I share that are my favorites. All there. It's all there. Just let y'all know that. It's all there. It's all pieces to a puzzle. If you look hard enough. And tune in and look for the details. Focus on the details. Focus on the sudden differences. The things that are new and different, and things that, it'll come clear. So, peace out, guys. Stay true. Much love.